Hello, I'm Tyson Mitsuki. Welcome to Behind Impressions. In this video, I'll briefly document the production process for a regular impressions video. Impressions is a series in which I discuss my first impressions of an anime show in a pro-con format. Now, I don't necessarily follow all these steps in the portrait order, but it is what I do to get these videos out there. Before anything can be done, I need to know what shows will air during the season. I use an aggregator called Stargaze Charts. Inspired by Chartfact's design aesthetic, user Sector sought to continue his work, introducing his take on the process. On this website, I read the synopsis of all the listed shows and jot down the ones that are more likely to interest me based on several factors. Synopsis, animation studio producing it, interesting key art, buzz around Twitter, among others. Here's the note I did for the spring season. In here I get a faint idea of what shows I want to cover for the series, but it is not final. Not yet. By second revision, when the licensors began announcing their lineup, both the list and my impressions of the shows are still not final. It took about 2 to 3 days to lay down the hammer. Series that don't look interesting at a second glance are scrapped. By the start of the season, I get a finished list. And this is where it all begins. To do an episode review, you have to watch the episode. I keep my digital notepad open to jot down stuff I observe, both potential points and stuff that may not get anywhere in scripting. While this goes on, I record the episode with my Capture software solution to peruse, if necessary. The next step is research. It works as an aid to elaborate points and to fill out the fact sheet part of the script. An example of the former is Joker Game, for which I researched pre-World War II Japan. A futile effort perhaps, but no knowledge is unnecessary. The latter is done by querying a myriad of sources: My Anime List, Anime Planet, Wikipedia, Anime News Network, among others, making sure to cross-check and avoid mistakes. In one instance, I almost incorrectly attributed the illustrations of Bungo Stray Dogs to what seemed like an alias of the illustrator when all the other sources listed him by his name. Researching and scripting go hand in hand. Scripting allows me to structure my thoughts in a coherent manner without going off on tangents. It's the most time-consuming step of the process, but it's worth it. From the initial notes of the first screening, I start elaborating points around the ones that I can adequately convey what I felt, and discard the ones that are mere chaff. At this stage, if I don't have enough points to fit the structure of the series, or am lacking in material to argue a point, I'll rewatch the episode and come up with new arguments. While this series contains my opinions, I make an effort to provide an objective point of view. We're almost there. Next up, graphics. In this part, I prepare all the visual elements that are used in the final piece of work, from branding to the accentuation points established in the script. The portrayal of information isn't set in stone. It may change in future revisions, and is fueled by both the show's aesthetic and my own. After the slides are done, I save them as an image sequence in the projects folder. But before we get into the video production, there's voiceover to record. My microphone of choice is the Blue Yeti. It's a studio-grade USB microphone with an affinity for treble. That is, the boost of high ranges in the voice to give it a brighter sound. I've had it for 3 years as of this recording, and it has proven a formidable tool for me to do my podcasting and video work. I have the script open on my computer alongside the recording program, and when I hit record, it's just an exercise of reading the script. An important part of recording is monitoring. Whilst I'm recording, I'll have headphones connected to the microphone itself. This allows you to hear what the microphone hears. It may be jarring for some, but it is a necessary skill to be able to adjust your levels on the go. I pay closer attention to the levels, meters that oscillate between green, yellow, and red, and a range of increasing numbers. This is a visual representation of how loud is registering the sound coming from the input device. Even with compression, I have to watch that I don't go over a certain level, as I have a loud voice. Otherwise, I risk the possibility of having nasty distortion in the audio, which cannot be fixed. After exporting the raw audio to the project folder, it's time for video editing. I add all the files to the project media box to start its assembly. First, the audio. My plugins of choice are compression, maximization, and noise reduction. The first attempts to balance out the ranges to give it a more uniform sound. The second boosts the volume of the audio to the desired level. The last one attempts to reduce the variable ranges below a certain threshold, useful for minimizing background noise. Once I get the desired levels, I'll start piecing the audio together. While recording, there may be instances in which I flub a line, done a bad reading, clear my throat, among other stuff that don't belong in the final audio. I eliminate those segments and try to piece the clips as close as possible to a normal narration sound. As I do that, I add the illustrations that are being covered, all the way up to the finished product. Once the video is rendered, it's uploaded into YouTube and promoted into oblivion. And that's all there is to it, really. Knowing which shows will air, selecting and watching the shows, researching, scripting, graphics, voiceover, and video editing. A lot of steps, and about 5 to 7 hours of work, but all necessary to piece these projects together. This has been Behind Impressions. Thank you for watching. Until next time, with nothing more to say, signing out.